Mark Edwards, and this is everything I do in a day. On a typical day, I wake up anywhere between 7 and 9 o'clock in the morning. On this particular day, because I've got the gym to go to, I'm waking up at 7:30. The first thing I do before I eat, check my phone, do anything, is I take a freezing cold shower. I personally find cold showers to be one of the most beneficial parts of the day, and they're just beneficial in general. There's a ton of science to back this up. It feels absolutely horrible when you first jump in, but when you come out, you feel refreshed, alert, you feel awake, you feel warm, funnily enough, and I couldn't fault it. 10 out of 10 would recommend, even though, judging by this footage, my face says otherwise.
So is cold showers. We have a world full of people that are just inflamed to the hilt on the inside and the outside, and they run around to doctors and therapists, and all you got to do is jump in a cold shower, and it conditions your autonomic nervous system, it exercises the arteriovascular tree, it aids in your ability to regulate your inner temperature relative to the environment, it stimulates the immune system, it has anabolic effects, it improves your sex life, it's free.
And when I can with the shower, I just force myself in, and yeah, there's something there.
There is something about the cold water treatments,
yeah,
and
yeah.
you know, the Greeks used it, the Romans used it later, the Finns and the Norwegians have used it forever. You know, it's been around.
Yeah.
It's very ancient. It's not. None of this stuff is new.
Yeah, sauna as well.
So after my freezing cold shower and brushing my teeth in the shower, I'm feeling great, I'm feeling awake. I immediately dry myself off. I go and get changed into my gym stuff. I don't bother with my hair or what I look like, anything like that. I'm just getting sorted, getting ready for the gym and getting ready to head out. The gym that I go to is pretty close to my house, so when I go at night to do weight training, I like to walk there and just make that part of the exercise. But in the morning, when I've got work to go to straight after, I usually just drive there so I don't end up running late. But it does end up being a relatively quick journey. I like to give 100% to every single gym session that I go to, and I find that if you try and do too much, like you try and incorporate cardio and weight training in the same session, you won't get the same isolation and the same benefits. Sometimes I'll throw in some cardio at the end of a weight training session, but to get the 100% benefit out of cardio, I like to spend the whole session just focused on it. This particular session, I'm starting off with some HIIT training. This is really good for getting the heart rate up and down. It consists of a 1 minute walk, a 1 minute run, and you repeat this for about 20 minutes. I'm also doing some abdominal work. This particular exercise here is probably my absolute favourite because you can really feel the burn from it. I also like to do about 2,000 metres on the rowing machine. This is just, again, really good for getting the blood pumping, and you really do feel exhausted after it. I finished the session with another 20 minutes of HIIT training. By the time I'm off the treadmill, I'm just absolutely exhausted, dripping with sweat, fatigued to the max, but the endorphins are sky high. So that's the morning gym session over. I've built up quite a lot of sweat during this session, so the first priority when I get in is to take shower 2. This shower's actually a warm one this time. After that, I need to shave. I really should have done it in the shower, which is what I usually do, but I forgot. Then put some aftershave on, get the work clothes on, get the hair done, and head out the door. Sometimes on the way to work I'll listen to Radio 1, Radio 2, I've also saw myself listening to a couple of podcasts before.
There was a guy on the plane today, which was really interesting or stupid, because he's standing behind me and we're getting off the plane and he says, you know, by the looks of you, I'd never expect to see you doing the things you were doing on this flight. And I'm like, what? Like,
What does that even mean?
I was doing a crossword puzzle on my iPhone and I FaceTimed with my kid.
Yeah, I mean,
And he's like, oh, I was just looking at you. You don't look like the kind of guy that would... I'm like, what?
cares about his daughter and
Right,
wants to
right.
expand his horizons intellectually. I like.
But for the most part, I get the Spotify out, the currently into playlist, and just listen to some tunes until I get to work. Work time. Once I'm in, see what jobs are waiting, crack on with them. I work in a photography business. It's a very varied job. One minute you'll find me scanning slides, old negatives from the 1960s, 1970s. The next minute I'll be taking someone's photograph, processing old film, selling cameras. So, I've got a bag of slides here, old slides, and the task in hand is to scan every one of these and enhance it, print it, reprints basically. Lunchtime is every day at 12 o'clock. Because I'm trying to get in good shape for going on holiday this March, I usually like to try and spend about 4 days in the week having as healthy of a lunch as possible, but then on the other day I'll just have a Greggs and donuts and stuff my face. Today I'm trying to eat very healthy. Sit on the stool up here.
1 second, please.
No bother. For you?
It's for me, Ken, yes. I'm the old man.
So I get a lot of old photographs and a lot of old film coming in all of the time. So it's really interesting to look back at some old stuff and see how things used to be. Obviously I can't show them for copyright reasons on this clip, but here's some footage provided by my uncle. When you were younger and you went on a school trip, you probably took a disposable camera with you and took some photographs. Well, what I'm doing here is actually setting up the processor which processes that very film. All the chemicals need to be at the exact right level and all the rollers need to be clean and free flowing for the film to run through smoothly. So all of the chemicals get disposed of in here and replaced with fresh chemicals. Then it's time to drive home. So usually every second day I see my girlfriend after work, but today I'm not seeing her, so it's just going to be a gym session, do the weight training, and then the night is free. Now obviously when I go to the gym in the morning I go by myself, but when I go at night a group of us go together And it's really good that way because you can push each other on, you can show each other things, you can learn more, and you can really push it even more to the limit. Fucked. Today's chest and tricep day. I'm doing some drop setting. I always love doing drop sets when it comes to chest, triceps, biceps, because it targets parts of the muscle that don't usually get targeted.
All we ever did was drop sets, drop sets, drop sets. And I believe that builds a physique quicker and bigger. The idea of a drop set is you go up to your maximum weight after the third or fourth set. So you're working the big muscle groups, right? The big muscle fibers. And then as you're dropping it and you're repping out, to failure, to the point where you've got hardly any weight on the bar, if any weight at all, that's when you're working the small muscle fibers.
Over the years I've been going to the gym, I've seen people come and go. I've also seen people be really consistent, stick at it and keep pushing it until they achieve their goals. For me, there's been periods where I've been really focused, really committed and really determined. In 2018 I had such a vivid goal in my head of what I wanted to achieve, and I was just there day in, day out putting the work in. But when I actually achieved that goal, the motivation just went. But now I'm back at it, and I'm hoping this time I can really stick it through.
Very you can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes.
So there you go, that's my day. After the gym and work's out the way, I might go see some friends, play some pool, I might just go home and do nothing. But you've been here today, you've seen it all. Alright, thanks. Goodbye.